Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Scorpio. The Earth continued its path around the Sun, and so when we look at the Sun now, we see Virgo behind it, and the Moon the same. When we look at the Moon, now the Moon is in your sign, and I place the card to the left because we're going to the new Moon. We're going to the within, and that's always to the left. That's the soul path. And from the new moon, then we go again out to your full moon, and we go to the right. So Virgo is going to help you on that path because Virgo is holding the lantern. Virgo is the one that understands what's going on deep within us, that we have to come to a deeper knowledge deep within us. And here in Salvador Dali's deck, Virgo is Luca Pacioli. He's like a Renaissance teacher or scholar who has brought, or who actually was, a calculation genius. And so I feel quite connected to him because he is bringing the numbers to me, because I really love to read through the numbers, the readings in general, right? I rely very much like on what a number means. So here we see Herman Handel's tarot, and here we see Salvador Dali's deck, and we're gonna see what the message is today, particularly through the Sun in Virgo, and of course the Moon in your sign. This constellation exists only once a year, and so it's really important that we recognize that. Virgo's yoga position is mountain pose with the Namaste in front of the heart. And for you, I created, of course, Scorpio pose, the transformation by bringing our feet above our head. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, the communication, and Virgo is the 6th house of health, and you are ruled by Pluto, and you are the 8th house of reincarnation. Your court card is the King of Cups. Here in this deck it's Odin. Is your birthday between October 13 and November 12, then is this your court card? If not, look in the description below. I have listed all of them. You might be the one before, the one after. So he was hanging on the world tree 9 months, right? And so the number 9, the completion, is talking to you. The number 8 as that reincarnation and that letting go and finding the rune alphabet where he's pointing his finger at. Then, of course, you are the number 13, which is the 1, the magician, and the 3, the empress. Calculated together, we have the emperor. So recognize that when we work on ourselves through these big transformations, then we can be truly powerful. Back to the last reading, because everything is cyclical. Leo Sun highlighting Scorpio Moon. The message was, this 666 portal is successfully bringing your old memories to a rest. So you can see here the 6 of Wands and the 6 of Cups, which are opposite of each other, and Capricorn right in the center, which was the number 15. And calculated together that we get a 6. So 3 times 6 is, bringing successfully, in a way, your old memories to a rest and continuing your path. And Virgo is going to help you to clear a lot of your life, because Virgo is that introspection, is the one that is looking deep within to recognize, all I need is to know myself. Good. I will pick one more card out of the Lifruma Healing Oracle. Here we have the rune alphabet that you found. right? Odin, very strong character, magician, healer, but also wizard. So let's see which card Odin is pointing at. Whee, the number 77. Look at that. How beautiful is this? 77, a portal. 2 times 7, the creativity in the enlightenment, but also the enlightenment sometimes has a downfall because we think now we achieved our place in this world, and then we realize we haven't yet. Very beautiful how this prism is actually letting you know that there are energies back and forth in this way, and also energies up and down in this way. So you can stop the video and make it big and read it yourself. I'm going to read it to you. Biofrost, the journey home. Hemferald, living light path theories of strings and strands, fragile, frayed threads, warp and weft, all left empty through knowing love is all. Peaceful vibrations bridging worlds and all journeys leading to the same destination. All our leaves lifted by the solar wind and sailing home. Chartered by stars to birth once more with the sacred Yggdrasil tree. Welcome home. So I recognize here that you are going back to the new moon, which is coming back home, because sun and new moon is going to be then in your sign. And on the full moon you have arrived as far out as you can arrive, and that's to the right. So right now I will place all the cards from right to left. We're going to go back in to arriving in your new moon. So in the position of the Fool comes the 7 of Swords. Now this is quite an interesting thought, because here you are a little bit of a victim. Here you are recognizing that something is talking to you. This is connected with the constellation Moon in Aquarius. And to the left is the wobble the Earth does to the left in 25,800 years. And that wobble we divide through the 12 zodiac signs, and we get an age of 2,150 years. So currently we go from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And this is what Moon in Aquarius is speaking to you. Stop being the victim. Cut through the 6. See how the sword is almost creating a mirror perspective of the 3. And these 3, it's almost like you have here a path, a narrow path that will bring you to a whole other dimension. This is what's happening here with this arrow. You see that? This arrow is letting you know there is above, there is below, but there's also this, and this is the crossing. And the crossing is, or Jesus on the cross is, that we have spirit and matter, time and space crossing. And so here the 7 is literally saying to you, you gotta now see why you feel like a victim. On the position of the Magician comes here the smoky mirror. And the smoky mirror is the 47. So in a way you have a 7-7 portal with the 4. But when I calculate 47 together, I get an 11. And the 11 with the 1 is 3 times the 1. And 3 times the 1 is being empowered in knowing that that one thought, that one action is creating this kind of division here. The Magician holds all 4 elements at your possession, and so the smoky mirror is something that you will find when you connect with that one thought, when you connect with something deep within yourself that is going to help you to take that path forward. Because on the position of the High Priestess, you get the 10 of Wands. And the 10 of Wands is connected with the constellation Saturn in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is in the next reading. And the 10 is that oppression, right? A deep oppression calculated with the 2 of the High Priestess is a 12. And then we get a 3 out of it. So here your intuition is telling you, stop thinking about how you are spiritually oppressed. You have to find here through the 7 of Swords your own knowledge, your own mystery, and you get it through the Magician. And then the High Priestess is letting you know, well, then your intuition is giving you a 10, right? And the 10 is already you ended a cycle. With the 12, then, of course, the 12 Zodiac signs, and then the 3, the Empress, the empowerment, right, of the 3 of the power chakra. Now, we have here the 47, the 11, with the Magician 3 times, and a 1 here. We have 4 times the 1. 4 times the 1 is the heart that knows that everything is one. That everything begins with 1 and everything ends with 1. On the position of the Empress comes the message of the Lovers. The number 6. The Lovers is self-love, and 6 and 3 is 9. So the Virgo energy of the Sun is giving you now a deeper self-love, because when you look here at the lantern and turn it around, you see a figure in there. And so you find your true self when you go deep within. You find here through the Empress, and she is on a boat, and here in the Death card there is this boat. So here you are recognizing the colors of this bird up here, and also here, you see this? It's almost like this is like, and it's the peak of the bird. It's crazy. Look at that. It's like, here we go. It's pointing at this. See this? It's crazy. Right? So the 4 of the 13, that's the Emperor, right? The new beginning. The 4, also the stability. 4 times the 1. Knowing that you have learned your lesson, and that now the Empress is letting you know, well, love yourself. And then you get to the 9, and the 9 is that deep knowledge from within through Virgo that is giving you the light right now. On the position then of Virgo comes here the Page of Cups, Sota de Copas. Those are all 3 water signs, which is Cancer and Scorpio, which is you, and Pisces. So here is you. You're in a young version, like him here, who has to make a decision that when he loves himself, he can take any decision. He can take any path. As long as he's with himself, he doesn't see the error pointing at him. He knows that something higher, a self-love, is speaking to him, and that the 6th chakra is the 3rd eye, and the 3rd eye is right above him. See that? So you will recognize something deep within you. And deep within you, you will recognize that now the path continues, going back to yourself, going back deep within to a healing, a deeper healing that will help you to overcome energies that are sometimes a little bit difficult. But Virgo is going to help you. Virgo is going to bring you the structure to do that. Then on the position of Odin comes the Four of Cups. So he has a cup and Four of Cups, right? Four of Cups is connected with the constellation Moon in Cancer. And we have here all three water signs. So there's a Cancer here as well that is actually saying, hey, look, I have a cup. So you have a cup, you have a cup, and you have again 4 cups. So you have 6 cups here. And interesting enough, you have here Gemini. You have the 7. So you have 7 swords and the sword of Gemini, the arrow that is pointing at his head. So you have 8 swords, and 8 is the infinite. 8 is also sometimes being a little stuck in the way you think. But here you recognize that Odin is pointing at these 4 cups, and 4 cups with Moon in Cancer, right? Recognizing that Moon in Cancer is also like a deep emotional knowledge of sometimes being a little bit bored, sometimes having everything and not knowing what to do with it. So here comes Odin, who's pointing down at these 4 cups, but he has a cup. And of course, we have a cup here, right? But in a way, there are 3. So you have 1 cup, 4 cups is 5, and 3 is 8, which is your number, right? The incarnation. All right, so then you are learning to arrive at your position. You're learning to arrive at yourself by the 4, a stability that sometimes is not easy to accept, that when we rely on ourselves and not on a relationship or on someone else, we learn the most. Because on the position of death of Scorpio comes here the Ace of Wands. Now, interesting enough, you had 10 wands, and 1 wand is 11. So again, you have a 1, right? You had 4 wands, and now you have 5 wands, or 6, right? When I calculated them together with these 10. So the ones are talking to you, the one and only, that one energy, right? That one sword that is here and that is cutting through those 6 swords. And it's interesting because you had the 666 portal last time, right? There is a 6 that you're cutting through with these 6 swords. There is a 6 here again, so you have 2 6s. And you have, in a way, these 2 cups with the 4 cups is 6 cups. All right, let's continue. So you have the 1 wand. The 1 wand that's also cutting through these 10 wands. That's a pattern, and that pattern has to be cut through. And that's that one action that will help you to be not oppressed. Because then on the position of the Moon comes here the Horseman, the Herald of Change, the number 30. We have the 18, and the 3 is then, of course, the 21, which is the World. So the World is getting you ready to be the empowerment, to be here, the horse that goes up, that is connected always with Sagittarius, that is connected with that 1 wand. And you see how he is going active into this 1 wand. And the 1 wand is a sexual energy, right? It's the lingam, it's that sexual energy. And here, this is the water, this is the feminine, this is the yoni lingam connection here. And you see how he is going into the change. He's using that 1 wand to be in the change. And yeah, you had many wands, right? So you recognize now that something is talking to you, to act, to really act, because on the position of the Sun, which is now in Virgo, comes the volcano. You see that? So you are getting fire through the sun. You are getting through the sun, Virgo. And Virgo is saying, yes, now use the fire. Use the fire to really let go of all the emotions that maybe don't really make sense to you anymore, to also thoughts that don't make sense anymore, and through things that oppress you that don't make sense anymore. You gotta come out of that. And so the only way to come out of that is here by taking action, because you have the volcano behind you, you have the power, you have the horseman, and that action is enough for you to go right back into the world, because you have noticed now we're going deep within because we're reading to the left, and she is looking on the position of the world at the volcano, and it's almost like this is the birth. She's coming out of this volcano, and you see the dragon that's spewing here, the fire, and this is the fire here as well that we can see. And this is Aries, is a fire sign that is letting you know, well, use this spear, use the fire, because you're very much emotional, you're very much feeling the things, right? And yes, you feel like this. You feel something is needed, more is needed. You're looking for that. And so on the world you get help through the Aries energy. In your head you will recognize now it's time to actually act and do, and really act, because you cannot think. It's not good. So this is behind her. She knows, if I think too much, then I get stuck. So now it's time to actually arrive and know what you need to be doing on the position of the world. Very much. Because then the cycle closes, right? What do you need to be doing with this 777 portal, and also having here a 7 in the smoky mirror? You see that? Right? So you have a 777 portal. I'm just seeing it right now. It's sometimes really interesting how we don't see certain things because it just, we don't see it. Sometimes that's what it is, right? That's what makes these readings so interesting, that we see things only on a specific moment. So there are 4 times the 7 here, and you see the success then. The success up or down or to the right or to the left, right? And you will know what it's all about, because you know what this is telling you. You know what this is for you to recognize, right? It's almost like, yes, she sees that and she knows that, and it's like the information is coming into her, right? And remember, we had here this. So I'm going to put this here. She sees that. She sees that this bird is pointing to the center of the card, and that's where the true liberation is. She knows that. Aries knows that. Aries is in the head. And so Aries brought you the spear that's pointing up, or the arrow that's pointing up, or down, that's pointing down, the arrow that's pointing down. I mean, the sword that's pointing up. It's very clear, right? You learn this, the arrow that's pointing at his head, the arrow that is pointing to the center of this card. It's all in your head. That's where we learn, right? And he's pointing with his mouth to the center. That's where we learn, in our head. And that's where you learn here in the 7th chakra, right? And so these thoughts will leave you because you are ready to understand that you can learn whatever it is that you can learn. Look at this, this is so cool. Wow. Right? So this is what you're learning. You're learning to really trust that what is in your head is needed to split and to see the marriage, to see the other dimension. Yeah, you see the other dimension very clear. So that's what Virgo is wanting to tell you. Virgo, who's giving you the fire, the sun, and the deep knowledge that when you arrive at yourself, when you arrive deep within, when you arrive in your head, that's where you get the enlightenment, the self, the understanding of self. You have arrived and you understand that. So I hope I see you in the next reading, because then the Earth continues its path and we get Sun in Libra. And Libra is the 11. We had a few ones here, right? We had here, through the smoky mirror, calculated together the 11. And with the Magician 3 times, the 1. So recognize you are the one. Recognize that you're going to the new moon, that you're going deep within. And that's why you are seeing now this as a continuation. I love it, right? It's amazing. I mean, it's like this is the sign, right? This is you knowing that this is what continues. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.